Chosen one, God has chosen a gentle place for you. Step into comfort. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey where the war within starts to quiet. Not because the battle wasn't real, but because God has decided it is time for the winds to change. This is that moment. This is that shift. You have been led through storms, valleys, and moments where nothing made sense. But now God is pulling back the curtain to reveal a resting place, a space saturated in comfort and lined with divine peace. The signs have been all around you, subtle but consistent. The heaviness that once wrapped around your heart like chains is beginning to lift, and your spirit is sensing a soft invitation step into comfort. I have chosen this place for you. It's not a coincidence that you're hearing this now. It's a divine confirmation. So today, as you hear this message, may it awaken something deep within your soul. Let your heart open wide to the reality that wishes do come true, not merely from your desire, but from the energy you send out and the divine response it triggers. Watch this video until the end and write your warmest wishes in the comments and write Amen, along with the number 99. In this sacred act, you join a movement that activates faith, gratitude, and unseen miracles in motion. You aren't just typing words, you are igniting the heavens with expectancy. Now, let the rest of this message soak in because what's coming will reaffirm everything God whispered in the dark. Now, chosen one, like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Comfort isn't a random luxury. It is a divine installation carefully crafted and lovingly placed in the blueprint of your life. For so long you were conditioned to survive, to fight, to press forward when nothing around you supported you. And yet you did, and God saw it all. Every silent tear, every moment you encouraged others when your own soul was running dry. Every time you gave when no one knew how empty your own hands were, that wasn't in vain. There's a reward tailor-made for that kind of heart. This isn't a universal invitation, this is personal. God has chosen a gentle place for you. Not because you begged for relief, but because your spirit never gave up, even when you had every reason to. There's a reason you've been feeling the need to declutter, to walk away from what no longer serves you, to breathe deeper and move slower. That inner prompting is not laziness or retreat. It's guidance, it's preparation for a new setting, a new rhythm that doesn't exhaust you but revives you. You're not walking into more burdens. You're being called into comfort. Real comfort, soul-level peace that doesn't depend on external circumstances. This is not a vacation from your purpose. It is the fulfillment of it. A space where your spirit can finally align with the beauty God has prepared all along. Where your gifts can flourish, not be drained. Where your wisdom is valued, not dismissed. Where your heart can feel safe, not on high alert. What God is setting up for you is not just about location. It's about vibration. This gentle place is a spiritual setting, designed to match your evolved energy. You're not the same as you were years ago. You've grown. You've expanded. You've awakened to things others still sleep through. That's why old environments began to feel suffocating. That's why old conversations started sounding like noise. That's why even certain people began to fade out of your life. God was retuning your frequency to match the comfort He already built for you. He wasn't late in preparing it. He was waiting for you to be ready to receive it. And now you are. Let that sink in. You are ready. Not because you've reached perfection, but because your surrender has matured. Your obedience has blossomed. Your discernment has sharpened. You now know what doesn't belong. You've grown out of anxiety-driven decisions. You've shed the need to prove yourself to people who never even saw you clearly. That's what makes this comfort sustainable. You won't self-sabotage this time. You won't run from peace, mistaking it for boredom. You'll recognize it, you'll honor it, and most importantly, you'll protect it. God's gentle place for you is a space where your value is not up for debate. It is the opposite of every chaotic season you survived. It is the answer to the silent prayers you didn't even know how to put into words. It is a setting where divine timing finally feels visible, where provision is consistent, and where your inner child feels embraced, not ignored. This place is not built from bricks and budgets. It's formed in the spiritual realm and materialized through divine favor. You may have thought you had to build everything from scratch, but God has already prepared it. You are not entering this season empty-handed. You are stepping in with the invisible inheritance of every trial you've passed through. This gentle place will restore your trust in yourself in timing, in divine orchestration. It will show you that things can come to you without trauma, that goodness does not always need to come through pain. You will learn that blessings can arrive quietly, wrapped in peace, without the fanfare of struggle. And you will marvel. You will sit in rooms that feel safe. You will wake up without dread. You will breathe without bracing for impact. The nervous system that was once overloaded will find new rhythm. The soul that was always on guard will finally be able to rest. Let yourself believe that it's real. Don't disqualify yourself from what's been destined. Don't let past chaos convince you that comfort is suspicious. God doesn't tease his chosen ones, he prepares them. And then when the moment is right, he reveals the gift. And here it is, the invitation to step into comfort. A real shift, a real change. The journey didn't break you, it built you for this. This part of your journey is not about striving. It's about receiving, not with guilt, not with apology, but with joy, with relief, with the full awareness that you've earned this through faithfulness. You didn't manipulate your way here. You didn't fake your way in. You were chosen. And when God chooses a gentle place for you, no storm can uproot you from it. This is only the beginning. The new setting will reveal new revelations. The gentle place will unlock gentle people. The divine comfort will spark divine creativity. You will no longer feel the need to hide your softness, your hope, or your joy. You'll be surrounded by energy that amplifies what is sacred in you. The pressure to perform will vanish. The need to explain will disappear. You'll just be, and that will be enough. Finally, let that truth melt into your bones. A new chapter has already started, not because of a calendar date or a checklist completed, but because God spoke it. And so it is. This isn't theory. This is your reality now. Begin to walk in it. Begin to breathe in it. You don't have to force the door open. It's already unlocked. All you have to do is take the step. The next few pages of your life are being written in a new ink. And the title of this next chapter, Comfort as God Intended. Let the rest of the world chase noise. Let the crowds run after validation. You, chosen one, were made for something gentler. You were crafted for something sacred. You are being held in a season where God's voice will sound clearer, where the whispers of the Spirit will guide your mornings, where the distractions lose their grip. This is your sanctuary, and nothing will ever be the same again. The gentle place God has chosen for you isn't defined by luxury or worldly success, though those things may certainly accompany it. It is defined by alignment. It's where your internal world and external surroundings finally begin to mirror each other. No longer will you feel like you're out of place or pretending to be content. Instead, you'll sense a calm harmony between what you feel and what's unfolding around you. This is the kind of peace that doesn't scream. It simply exists quietly, powerfully, permanently. You didn't arrive here overnight. There were days when even the idea of peace felt like a fantasy. You've been through seasons where your spirit was running on fumes, where you were holding on to your purpose with only a thread of strength, and yet somehow you didn't let go. That matters. God saw the days you showed up when no one clapped. He saw the days you wiped your tears and kept giving. He recorded every moment of silent faith. This gentle place, it's not a random event, it's the response. The divine result of a journey walked in obedience and quiet courage. Now the terrain around you is shifting. Where there was once tension, there's now stillness. Where there was once confusion, there is clarity. And where there was once lack, there is more than enough. But it's not just about physical provision, it's about emotional safety, mental freedom, spiritual renewal. These are the signs that you've stepped into what God intended for you all along. It's not a break from life. It's the reward for learning how to truly live. This is what healing looks like when heaven arranges it. You'll begin to notice how even small things start working for you. People who once overlooked you will now begin to reach out. Opportunities will appear without you chasing them. Doors will open that you didn't knock on. That's what divine comfort does. It creates an atmosphere around you that attracts goodness without force. There's no desperation here. There's no begging. There's only flow. You are being led, not dragged. You are being guided, not pressured. You're finally walking with grace, not anxiety. You might feel tempted to question this phase. Is it really this simple? Can it really be this peaceful? Isn't life supposed to be hard? These questions are echoes of your past battles, but they're not needed here. In this gentle place, there is no test to pass, no fight to win. The only invitation is to receive, to rest in the truth that God is not just a protector in chaos, but a provider of calm. He doesn't just show up in the storm. He creates sanctuaries for his chosen. You're in one now. Trust that. You may even notice people begin to treat you differently, not because you've changed your behavior, but because your energy has shifted. The anxiousness you once carried has been replaced with stillness. The need to explain yourself has been replaced with knowing. You don't seek validation anymore. You carry divine evidence. That alone shifts the entire atmosphere wherever you go. You're not here to prove anymore. You're here to be. And that shift will quietly disrupt every environment that once misunderstood you. This is the phase where your light becomes unshakable. Not blinding, not boastful, just steady, consistent, silent in its power. The kind of light that doesn't ask to be seen. It simply cannot be ignored. This is the light God has developed in you through every hardship. And now that you've stepped into this gentle space, it will shine brighter than ever. Not because you're trying, but because you're aligned. In this space, your decisions will be clearer. You won't second-guess yourself like before. That's what comfort does. It sharpens your discernment. It frees your mind to hear God without distortion. It allows you to move without hesitation because you trust the ground beneath your feet. That's new, isn't it? To actually feel supported, to actually feel like something is holding you up instead of pulling you down. This is what divine setup feels like, and while others may still be in the season of struggle, your heart won't feel guilty for entering peace. You'll have compassion without compromise, you'll carry empathy without returning to chaos. Because this gentle place isn't a retreat from responsibility, it's a foundation for your next level. You were never meant to be overwhelmed forever. You were meant to rise in strength after the storm. And here you are. Let the silence teach you. Let the stillness speak. Let the ease become your new normal. You are not weak for choosing rest. You are not lazy for embracing calm. You are responding to a divine calling that says enough carrying what was never yours to hold enough, striving in soil that never grew you, enough settling in spaces that never saw you. Enough. From this place, God will begin to whisper new instructions. These aren't survival commands, these are expansion blueprints. Now that you're in a safe space, your spirit will begin to hear with clarity. You'll dream again. Not survival dreams, but destiny ones. You'll imagine things without the fear of how, because now you know who. God is no longer just your rescue, He is your rhythm. He's the pace of your peace, the author of your atmosphere. This gentle place is not a pause, it's a prelude to greatness, to manifestation, to everything you held onto by faith when logic told you to let go. You're not arriving late. You're not behind. You're exactly on time because this chapter was written with your name on it before you even knew what comfort meant. There's a sacred rhythm flowing beneath your feet. Now, it may not be loud or grand in appearance, but it is steady like a river that never runs dry. You're walking differently in this season, not because the world changed, but because your soul did. You're no longer panicking with panic or chasing after validation. You're moving with the quiet assurance that God Himself cleared this path, selected this atmosphere, and wrapped you in a type of protection that doesn't need an audience. This is what real comfort feels like. It's not decorated with applause. It's anchored in divine certainty. You can feel it in your mornings. You wake up with a lightness even before anything external confirms your joy. You're not waking up dreading another battle. You're waking up with the subtle, powerful feeling that you are held, that things are finally catching up with your inner truth. The alignment you prayed for is no longer distant. It's unfolding around you. One step at a time, not rushed, not forced, just flowing like it always should have in this gentle place. Your reflection is changing, not just in the mirror, but in the way you think about yourself. The false ideas you used to carry, the ones that said you weren't enough, that you had to do more to deserve peace, those ideas are dissolving. They were never yours to begin with. They were survival tools, illusions created by past pain. But now, in this God-chosen comfort, the real version of you is being revealed. The one that doesn't need permission to rest. The one that is whole even while healing. The one that walks without apology. God is showing you a new pace. And at first it may feel unfamiliar. You're used to sprinting through life. You're used to holding your breath, bracing for the next blow. But that pattern was forged in places not meant for your soul. In this space, God is teaching you how to breathe again. Not just physically, but spiritually deep. Healing sacred breaths. Breaths that make room for creativity, for joy, for presence. This is not luxury. It is holy necessity. And God has chosen it for you. The whispers you're hearing now are different. They're not born from fear, but from vision. You're sensing ideas, solutions, directions that feel aligned with your essence. That's not random. That's the fruit of divine comfort. When your nervous system relaxes, your soul starts to remember what it was created for. That's when divine downloads become clear. That's when the fog lifts. That's when heaven speaks. And you can actually hear it without distraction, without distortion, without delay. This comfort isn't weak. It's not soft in a way that coddles your calling. No, this comfort is strategic. It is power dressed in peace. It is preparation dressed in ease. It is training ground for a new level of impact. You're not being hidden. You're being positioned. God is placing you in environments that align with your future, not your history. He's shifting the people around you not because you failed them, but because you've outgrown the frequencies they still operate in. You're not bitter, you're just becoming better. And this space is the evidence. It will take some adjustment. Sometimes peace can feel uncomfortable when you've been used to chaos. Sometimes comfort feels suspicious when all you've ever known is struggle. But let those thoughts fade. Let your soul relearn what it means to be safe, to be supported, to be seen by God, in a way that doesn't demand you to perform. He is not testing you here. He is trusting you to receive, trusting you to expand, trusting you to allow what He's always wanted for you. Goodness freely given, even your surroundings will start to reflect the shift. You'll feel led to rearrange things, to simplify, to beautify, not out of vanity, but out of harmony. The external will start mirroring the internal peace that's blooming. That's not a coincidence, it's divine order. Heaven is manifesting through the smallest details of your life. You'll begin to notice how everything flows smoother. Conversations feel lighter. Time stretches in your favor. Finances stabilize. Health aligns, relationships evolve. All because you said yes to the space God prepared. You may wonder how long this will last, but that question is rooted in old timelines, those built on instability. In this season, stop asking how long and start recognizing this is the place. This is the peace, this is the moment. Not temporary, not borrowed, but promised. You are no longer on the run from lack. You're resting in divine provision. That is a radical shift, one your ancestors dreamed of, one your past self didn't dare hope for. And yet, here it is, God's gift just for you. As this comfort grows, so will your capacity to love. Not just others, but yourself. The grace you extend will be richer. The boundaries you set will be clearer. The joy you carry will be deeper, because this isn't just about what's around you, it's about what's happening inside of you. A divine softening, a healing recalibration, a royal restoration. And it's not happening by accident. God is involved in every thread of this tapestry. This is also the space where gratitude flows effortlessly. Not forced, not scripted, but real. You'll find yourself whispering thank you without even knowing why, because your spirit is finally being fed. You're being nurtured in ways that go beyond food or rest. You're being nourished with truth, with sacred awareness, with invisible abundance that eventually becomes visible reality. You're learning that gratitude is the language of receivership, and you are finally in position to receive. The old self, the one that doubted, overthought, and self sabotaged, is not compatible with this atmosphere. God has chosen a gentle place because the new you is being activated, the one who moves with certainty, the one who no longer needs to convince others of your worth, the one who doesn't chase but attracts. This version of you has been forming in silence for years, and now the setting is finally right for you to emerge fully. Let your heart embrace that. Let your mind rest in that. Let your spirit rise in that. You are not where you used to be. You are not who you used to be, and you will never go back. This is the gentle place. This is the holy atmosphere. This is what God prepared. You may begin to notice how even your memories start to change in this gentle place. Not in the sense that you forget the pain, but in how it feels inside you now. What once stung with bitterness now carries the quiet weight of wisdom. The moments that once defined your sadness no longer hold the same power. Why? Because you're not viewing them from the middle of the storm anymore. You're viewing them from the shelter God built just for you. And from this place, everything looks different, clearer, softer, wiser. It's in this quiet, sacred space that you finally understand why certain things didn't work out. Not because you weren't worthy, not because you lack something, but because God had reserved something that would fit, not force. You've graduated from being tolerated into being celebrated. You've outgrown environments that only love the version of you they could control. And God, in His unmatched wisdom, waited until your soul matured enough to recognize that love is not supposed to hurt to be holy. That comfort is not the absence of purpose, but the proof of divine placement. You'll feel it in your conversations, in the way your voice no longer trembles when you speak your truth, in the way your presence no longer feels like it's trying to squeeze into small spaces. You're taking up your rightful room, not with arrogance, but with divine confidence. You're not loud about it. You're not performing. You're simply existing in your full light. And that alone changes atmospheres. That alone reminds the world something sacred is happening here. In this gentle place, God is not just giving you comfort. He's awakening your original design. The version of you that was dreamt of before you were even formed, the version of you that was never meant to settle for noise, toxicity, or spiritual starvation. He's placing you where your softness is not a weakness, but a strength, where your boundaries are not barriers, but bridges, where your discernment is not dismissed, but respected, where your glow is not hidden, it's honored. This phase will also come with divine introductions, not just to new people, but to new dimensions within yourself. You'll realize there were gifts hidden under the rubble of your past battles, gifts that only this new piece could unlock. You'll start flowing in creativity that stuns even you. Words will come easier. Solutions will feel natural. The energy you used to waste on surviving will now be redirected into building, into planting, into blessing others from the overflow of your own healed soul. And that's the key. You are no longer operating from emptiness. You're no longer stretching yourself thin just to make others comfortable. You're no longer bending until you break. God has positioned you where you don't have to choose between purpose and peace. You now understand that the two were always meant to coexist. Your calling was never supposed to exhaust you. It was supposed to elevate you, and now it finally does. The gentle place will not always be easy to explain. It may not look like success to the world. It may not come with grand announcements, but it will be undeniably real to you. It will show up in how your heart feels safer, in how your laughter returns, in how you can finally sit in silence and not feel scared of what might rise inside. You'll understand that the absence of chaos is not emptiness, it's healing. And from that healing, new levels of clarity will be born. You'll begin to dream again, and this time, you won't shrink your dreams to fit your reality. You'll expand your reality to match the dreams God placed inside you. You'll speak things that once felt too bold to say aloud. You'll move with a sense of divine assurance that can't be taught, it can only be felt. Because this time, it's not coming from ambition, it's coming from alignment. Don't be surprised when others don't understand this season. Some will look at your comfort and assume you've become passive. Let them. Only you and God know the weight you carry to arrive here. Only you and God know the cost of this quiet joy. You don't need to explain ease to people who idolize struggle. You're not here to convince anyone of your peace. You're here to live it, to embody it, to protect it like the treasure it is. And it is a treasure, one that cannot be stolen because it wasn't bought by effort. It was given by grace. This is the kind of peace that can't be faked. It's not in your words, it's in your energy. It radiates from your being. It walks into rooms before you do. It wraps itself around your choices, and it whispers to everyone who encounters you. This one has been touched by heaven. Even your rest will be different. No more tossing and turning. No more anxiety-laced sleep. No more waking up with a weight in your chest. In this gentle place, you'll sleep knowing you're supported. You'll rest knowing that God is working even when you're not. That's the kind of freedom no paycheck can buy. That's the kind of wealth no title can match. That's the kind of inheritance only God can give. The people who enter your life in this season will be drawn to your frequency, not your facade. You won't need to pretend. You won't need to hustle for connection. The right souls will recognize your spirit. They'll speak your language of calm. They'll honor your boundaries without being asked. They'll bring joy, not confusion. They'll match your energy instead of draining it. This is what happens when God sets the table. Only those aligned with your destiny get a seat. You've spent enough time proving, enough time chasing, enough time tolerating what didn't feel right. Now is the time to enjoy what does feel right. Not because it's perfect, but because it's pure. Not because it's loud, but because it's lasting. Not because it's easy, but because it's exactly what God designed for you. You are not lost. You are not late. You are located by the one who knows every detail of your destiny. And this gentle place is not a reward for perfection, it's a result of divine preservation. God kept you for this. He molded you for this. And now that your heart is finally ready, He's revealing it. There's a kind of quiet God builds before elevation. A holy silence that doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means everything is aligning. And in this gentle place, that silence becomes your strength. You're no longer afraid of the stillness. You've learned that it's not empty, it's pregnant with purpose. And now, without needing external validation, you know something sacred is unfolding within you and around you. The world may not see it yet, but God does. And that's enough. This season is not just about rest, it's about realization. You're realizing that you were always meant for this kind of life, not one built on burnout and overfunctioning, but one rooted in grace. You were never created to carry everything on your own. That's why things are starting to fall into place the moment you stop grasping. The moment you let go of forcing, God begins releasing. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's the evidence that you're finally walking in sync with the divine. You'll see it in your emotions, too. You won't react the same way you used to. The things that once triggered anxiety or insecurity will no longer shake you. Not because you've become numb, but because you've been healed. You've processed what once paralyzed you. You've confronted what once controlled you. And now, with peace as your foundation, your responses come from wisdom, not wounds. That shift is permanent. That shift is powerful. This gentle place is not a detour from your destiny. It's the hallway to the next room. It's the divine threshold that prepares you for sustained abundance. Because what's coming next requires a calm heart, not a chaotic one. God knew you couldn't carry kingdom level blessings with a survival level mindset. That's why He brought you here. To recalibrate your spirit, to restore your hope, to show you that goodness can be your baseline, not just a fleeting miracle. You'll start noticing how you trust time more. The rush is gone. The panic has dissolved. You no longer feel like you're running out of moments. You feel like moments are now finding you. That's the gift of divine alignment. It bends time in your favor. You'll walk into days that feel pre-written, encounters that feel orchestrated, doors that open as if they were waiting just for you, and they were because now you're in the right place internally. And when the inner world shifts, the outer world follows. People who meet you now may not realize how much you've endured. And that's okay. You're no longer interested in performing your pain. You don't need to prove how strong you are. Your energy says it all. Your presence carries a calm that can only be born through divine transformation. It's not arrogance. It's not pride. It's the quiet dignity of someone who's been touched by God and allowed Him to finish the work. The gentle place also teaches you how to receive love again. Real love. Unconditional, unrushed, uncomplicated. Love that doesn't manipulate. Love that doesn't monitor. Love that doesn't make you feel like you owe something in return. In this space, you're relearning how to be held, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, energetically, and that alone begins to heal what years of striving could never fix. This kind of divine comfort is magnetic. It draws in all that's been waiting for you. Ideas, provision, relationships, rest, favor. You're not chasing anymore. You're attracting because your vibration has risen above fear, above guilt, above shame. And now what's coming your way recognizes you. It knows your name, it knows your spirit, and it knows you're finally ready. Don't be surprised if the blessings begin to multiply quietly. No announcement, no spotlight, just favor stacking upon favor provision, showing up through unexpected channels. Joy finding you in moments where you least expect it. That's how God works in comfort. It's not always explosive, sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's so gentle that you almost miss it until you look back and realize everything has changed.